Every organization needs to continuously evaluating their current state to be able to improve. In Chapter 12 of Organization Development and Change book by Thomas G. Cummings and Christopher G. Worley, the process towards improvement is called organizational interventions. There are two types of organizational interventions. The first is the system-wide organization approaches. The second is interpersonal and group process approaches. This video will present the second, interpersonal and group process approaches. Before going in depth about interpersonal and group process, let's take a look at a case study. ABC is a non-profit project-based organization managing several projects in the area of environmental conservation. Given their breadth of works, many staffs were confused on what the organization was trying to achieve. In operational level, cases like resource competitions, communications and coordinations, as well as media exposure competitions among projects were becoming common. As a consultant, I was assigned to help improving their way of work, especially to respond to the number of projects they plan to manage in the upcoming years. I first observed how staffs from different projects interact with each other, which led to a conclusion that the project planning was the beginning of the nightmare. Project planning was focused on what we can do, overlooking lessons from past projects, and keeping team members away from available resources within the organization. From the beginning, projects have turned themselves into silos. Instead of breaking the silos, I first helped staffs to break the ice through a series of games and simulations. The Castaway games delivered a consensus that they didn't know each other as much as they and their projects needed to. The Footstep simulation challenged staffs to use decreasing resources to manage the growing number of projects. And the Lego simulation took them to build not just castles, but a kingdom representing ABC and its projects. As the ice melted, one senior manager came to share what ABC was striving to achieve. Cynicism from staff, as expected, appeared. In fact, this was a good sign for the next exercise, the open space. The open space meeting revealed several urgent organizational issues that senior managers could have only imagined. These exercises also identified several staffs having problems with their work. Interestingly, there were staffs who, borrowing open space's term, acted like bees. To address these problems, I organized a session where the bees acted as counselors to those staffs having work problems. At the end of the consultation, ABC staff successfully produced several outputs. The kingdom, representing the journey that the organization chose to embark, the ad hoc task forces to follow up several urgent organizational issues, and finally, the emergence of in-house counselors. People come into organizations and groups with varying needs and reasons. Therefore, they may eventually become good in managing works, but not necessarily good at their ways of work. There were at least three relevant challenges to managers. One is how to enable group members to assess their interactions. Two is how group members effectively solve problems in their teams to achieve common goals. And three, when conflicts occur, how group members effectively address these conflicts in their teams. Interpersonal and group process are approaches aimed to address these challenges. These approaches are basically organizational change programs related to interpersonal relations and group dynamics. These kind of interventions are needed when something is not right in the group. Cummings and Worley suggested three types of interventions. They are process consultation, third-party interventions, and team building. Process consultation was defined in details by Ed Schein. Schein stressed his definition on interpersonal relationship amongst team members. He argued that when such relationship established, process intervention should easily becoming everyday exercise. As the name implies, process consultation focuses on the process instead of the result. Therefore, group process interventions may aim to improve groups' ability to find solutions instead of finding the solutions. In our case of ABC, the process consultation enables staffs to conduct their own problem solving by first creating a positive and enabling environment. Games and simulations like the Castaway and Lego enable staffs to break the ice so that they can further break down their own silos. It is important to note that a process consultation is a multidimensional improvement process. The result is usually linked to other interventions conducted to the same group. The second type of intervention is third-party intervention. As the name recalls, this intervention involves neutral third party, usually in the form of consultants, to provide non-biased views. It comes to no surprise that this intervention is usually needed when conflicts occur. With hundreds of definitions available, conflict is best viewed as incompatible activities. Being incompatible, conflicts are potential to lead improvement. Third-party interventions should help conflicting parties to unearth these potentials. In the case of ABC, this third-party intervention occurred when the kingdom was created and several conflicts were identified. There are no specific methods or techniques required by third-party interventions. However, many cases prove that productive dialogues are at the heart of every conflict resolution. The last interpersonal and group process intervention is team building. This popular intervention will take teams to a certain level where they can improve their performance. Team building can be organized for specific purposes such as improving staff's involvement, creating work design, restructurization, and to address organizational strategic changes. You may ask, when do I need a team building exercise? Dyer provided a checklist to help us. The checklist clarifies to what extent is there evidence of problems in our work unit and whether or not we are prepared to start a team building program. The result of team building can vary from modest to deeper changes. However, any team building should aim for improvement on performance, attitude, and feelings, both for the group and its members. To summarize the chapter, any interpersonal and group process approaches should improve teamwork performance by enabling team to learn handling its own ongoing problem solving. In the next chapter of this book, Cummings and Worley will take us to see a different type of interventions, the organizational approaches. Thank you for going through the whole presentation. If you find this video useful, give your comment below and like this video. Don't forget to post this video in your Twitter and Facebook account. Adios!